Your life is a reflection of what you consistently think about, speak about, believe in, and expect. The moment you realize that is the moment you take the steering wheel of your destiny. You see, there are no accidents when it comes to the shape of your results. Success is not something that stumbles upon the few, nor is failure a curse cast from above. They are both simply manifestations of focus. What you focus on, the universe will provide. That's not just a concept for the dreamers or the philosophers. It is the unshakable law undergirding all human experience. The dominating thoughts in your mind, not your fleeting wishes or momentary impulses, are what build the structure of your life. It is not enough to want success. You must dwell on it, saturate your consciousness with it, build a temple to it in your daily thoughts. Only then will the world begin to echo it back to you. A man may speak of desiring health, but if his focus is on illness, his mind will produce symptoms of that illness, and his body will obey. Another may dream of wealth, but if his dominant thoughts are on lack and scarcity, his actions will repel prosperity. It is not what you say with your mouth that matters, it is what you broadcast through your persistent attention. Understand this. Your mind is the gateway through which you program the universe. It is not a passive receiver. It is an active transmitter. The frequency you emit through your words, emotions, beliefs, and attention determines what flows into your life. You are not just living in the universe. You are creating with it moment by moment through your focused intent. Now let me tell you something that few men ever realize. What you do with your focus in private will show up in your life in public. You may not see the results instantly, but they are coming. That's the law. And the law has no favorites. It does not judge your focus. It simply amplifies it. If you think defeat, talk defeat, expect defeat, you will live in defeat. But if you think victory, speak as one who has already won, and expect success with unwavering belief, then no circumstance, no delay, no opposition can keep it from you. Most people are casual with their attention. They allow the noise of the world to decide their focus. They let the news, the gossip, the fears of others dictate what lives in their mind. They consume the mental garbage of the masses and then wonder why they feel empty. But the one who masters his focus becomes a master of his future. When you understand that attention is energy, you begin to treat it with reverence. Just as you wouldn't spill your savings into a hole in the ground, you must not waste your focus on that which does not serve your growth. Every time you give energy to a fear, a doubt, a complaint, or a distraction, you are feeding the exact opposite of what you want. You must become deliberate. You must train your mind to lock onto your vision like an eagle locks onto its prey. Do not let circumstances decide your attitude. Let your attitude dictate your circumstances. This is the posture of a creator, not a victim. Some will say, but how can I focus on success when all I see around me is lack? And I answer this. You do not focus on what is, you focus on what can be. The builder does not stand on an empty lot and despair. He holds the vision of the house. The farmer does not weep at bare soil. He sees the harvest. The great achievers of history did not wait for conditions to become perfect before they chose to believe. They imposed belief upon conditions. They created their outcomes with focus before the world ever caught up. The universe is not waiting for you to prove your worth before it delivers. It is waiting for you to prove your focus. The signal you send determines the form the response takes. If you signal fear, it sends you more reasons to be afraid. If you signal gratitude, it multiplies your blessings. If you signal purpose, opportunities begin to show up from unexpected corners. This is why I teach that clarity is power. When your focus is blurred, your life becomes scattered. You jump from one idea to the next. You begin projects with excitement but abandon them in frustration. You set goals with hope but lose them in the fog of distraction. But when you are clear, your actions become aligned. Your days gain meaning. Your energy is not diluted across 1,000 aims. It is laser focused on the one thing that matters. Do you know what that one thing is? It is the version of yourself that lives already within your imagination, the man or woman you were born to become. That is your true self, your potential, your masterpiece. And the only way to bring it out is to give it your attention, to feed it with thought, nurture it with belief, and walk toward it every single day, no matter what storms rage around you. You must visualize this version of yourself until it becomes more real than the old patterns trying to hold you back. Speak like that person. Think like that person. Move like that person. Do not wait for permission to be them. Be them now. That's how transformation begins. And do not let the world tell you that focus is for the lucky or the gifted. Focus is a skill. It is forged in the fires of discipline and commitment. It is earned by those who say, I will no longer be tossed around by the winds of life. I will be the captain of my mind. I will think on purpose. I will act with intent. I will build my life through deliberate, focused energy. When you wake up in the morning, decide what will dominate your thoughts that day. Decide what you will build, what you will believe, what you will ignore. Don't let your mind be an open field where anything can grow. Make it a garden and plant only what you wish to harvest. Say to yourself, today I focus only on what moves me forward. I starve distractions. I eliminate doubt. I will no longer feed what I do not want. This is not just motivation. It is transformation. It is the discipline that leads to miracles. Do not expect results if you have not invested attention. The man who claims he wants wealth but gives his focus to worry and laziness is deceiving himself. The woman who dreams of greatness but spends her attention comparing herself to others is throwing away her creative power. You were not born to drift. You were born to direct. The same force that builds nations, composes symphonies, launches rockets, that force is within you, waiting to be aimed through focus. The reason most people never experience this power is because they give up too soon. They focus for a day, maybe a week, and when nothing happens, they quit. But the universe responds not to short bursts of enthusiasm. It responds to sustained intention. It responds to consistency. Think of your focus like a magnifying glass. Held steady, it can ignite a fire. But moved around constantly, it accomplishes nothing. The fire you seek in your life, in your finances, your health, your relationships, your destiny, will only ignite when your focus remains steady long enough to catch flame. This is why I urge you to monitor your mental habits. If your mind is constantly jumping from fear to faith, from gratitude to envy, from action to hesitation, then your focus is divided, and a divided focus cannot manifest power. Train your mind to hold one dominant idea at a time, the idea that aligns with your highest goals. Let that idea live in your thoughts when you rise, when you eat, when you walk, when you lay your head to sleep. Let it infuse your conversations. Let it guide your choices. Let it become the lens through which you see the world. You will begin to notice the more you focus on that idea, the more life begins to rearrange itself around it. People, resources, opportunities, they will start to align, not because they were never there, but because your focus is finally tuned to receive them. What you were blind to before, you will now see. What you doubted before, you will now believe. And what seemed impossible before, you will now begin to expect. And when you expect something with conviction, backed by daily focus and unwavering energy, the universe has no choice but to deliver, because that is the law. The law of focus is the foundation of all achievement. What you hold in your mind consistently with emotional intensity and clarity of vision must sooner or later take form in your physical reality. But there's a catch, and it's where most people falter. That form does not appear overnight. The delay between thought and result is not punishment. It is preparation. And what you do during the delay determines whether the universe delivers what you asked for or passes it by. You see, the universe is not your servant. It is your mirror. It does not respond to your pleas or your need. It reflects back what you are consistently being. So the question is not, what do I want? The real question is, what am I becoming? If you are becoming focused, intentional, resilient, and disciplined, the results will come. But if you are becoming scattered, doubtful, and easily discouraged, you are pushing away the very things you say you desire. You cannot deceive this law. It will not reward occasional effort. It only responds to dominating thought backed by continuous action. Now I want you to examine something closely. Your environment, not just where you live or work, but what surrounds your attention. What voices are you listening to? What conversations are you having? What emotions dominate your day? These are the bricks of your focus. And those bricks are building something, either a palace of purpose or a prison of procrastination. You must ruthlessly eliminate what dilutes your focus. If it drains your energy, weakens your spirit, distracts you from your chief aim, it has no place in your life. Not now, not ever, because your destiny is too important. Your vision is too sacred. The price of mediocrity is far higher than the discomfort of discipline. Most people say they want success, but they spend their best hours listening through meaningless opinions, worrying about things outside their control, entertaining doubts, comparing themselves to others. All of this is theft. Theft of your power, theft of your time, theft of your future. Do not let the world rob you of your focus. You must be vigilant. You must guard your attention like a soldier guards his post. Every thought, every emotion, every word must be weighed against this question. Does this move me closer to the life I am building or further away? If it moves you forward, embrace it. Multiply it. Immerse yourself in it. If it moves you backward, eliminate it. Without apology, without hesitation. You see, success does not belong to the lucky, it belongs to the focused. The man or woman who lives each day with purpose etched into their mind like fire into steel cannot be denied. The world will resist at first. Obstacles will come, but they will be crushed under the weight of sustained focus and relentless execution. That's why I say, do not chase success. Become success. Embody it. Live it. Let it saturate your every thought and action. When you do that, you won't need to chase anything. It will come to you. It must. That is the immutable law. Now, let me speak clearly to you about something that destroys more dreams than failure ever could. Divided energy. You cannot build anything worthwhile with one eye on the goal and the other on your fears. You cannot march forward with one foot on the gas and one on the brake. You must decide once and for all what you are committed to. And once you decide, let everything else fall away. There will be critics. Ignore them. There will be distractions. Shut them out. There will be moments of doubt. Push through them. Because the universe is listening not to your words, but to your persistence. When you persist, even in the absence of results, you send a message to life itself. I am serious. And when life knows you are serious, it opens doors. Not always when you want, but always when you are ready. And what makes you ready? Focus, hunger, faith, The ability to hold a vision even when reality mocks you. The ability to act boldly even when fear claws at your heels. The willingness to stand alone, misunderstood, underestimated, and still press forward with fire in your eyes. This is what separates the many who wish from the few who achieve. Now I ask you, what do you focus on when no one is watching? What lives in your mind when the lights go out and the noise dies down? Because that, not your public persona, not your goals on paper, not your social mask, that is your true focus, and that is what the universe is responding to. If you carry bitterness, regret, resentment, let it go. These emotions are thieves. They anchor your focus in the past and drain your energy from the present. You cannot build a powerful future with poisoned thoughts. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is release. It is freedom. It is the clearing of mental space so that your focus can be pure. Every morning you rise is another chance to redirect your focus. You are not bound by yesterday's failures. You are not imprisoned by old patterns unless you choose to be. The mind is malleable, the spirit is resilient, and your power to focus can be forged anew each day through choice, through repetition, through faith. Speak to yourself with authority. Declare who you are and where you are going. Let your inner voice become the strongest voice in your life. Do not borrow beliefs from the weak-minded or the fearful. Build your own beliefs. Feed them daily. Guard them fiercely. And remember this, the world will try to pull you into its storm, but you must pull the world into your peace. Stay grounded. Stay centered. Stay focused. The storm may rage, but the one who is rooted in clarity will not be shaken. What are you building? Why are you building it? Who are you becoming in the process? These questions must not be asked once. They must be asked daily, because the answers determine your focus. And your focus determines your life. Do not focus on how long it will take. Time is irrelevant to the focused mind. It may take months. It may take years. But to the one who never wavers, time becomes an ally. Because each day of focus is a brick in the wall of your dream. And one day, that wall will stand complete. Not because of luck, but because of consistency. Consistency is the companion of focus. Without it, your energy is wasted. But with it, even the smallest efforts compound, even the most ordinary actions become extraordinary over time. That's why you must do what matters every day, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline your focus, and the universe will discipline your results. You will begin to see the signs. You'll meet the right people. You'll stumble upon the right ideas. You'll feel guided, not by chance, but by design, your design. This is why I tell you, stop hoping, start focusing, stop wishing, start building. The universe does not respond to vague intentions. It responds to clear, committed energy. When you move with purpose, you activate unseen forces. People will call it coincidence. Let them. You will know the truth. You will know that it was your focused mind that bent reality, that summoned the answer, that shaped the path. There is nothing you cannot do, nothing you cannot be, nothing you cannot have. If your focus remains unbroken, do not be deceived by appearances. Do not be discouraged by temporary setbacks. All things are possible for the focused soul. And above all, never forget this. The universe is not against you. It is responding to you. It is not punishing you. It is teaching you. It is not delaying you. It is preparing you. Every challenge you face is an invitation to strengthen your focus. Every obstacle is a test. not of your talent, but of your attention. Will you break or will you hold the vision? Will you fold or will you persist? Hold the vision, persist, focus. Because what you focus on, the universe will provide. There is a secret the world won't teach you, but life will. The mind that sees only lack cannot receive abundance. Not because abundance is absent, but because your focus has made you blind to it. Every day the universe broadcasts opportunity, answers, and ideas, but only the tuned-in mind can hear it. And tuning in is a decision. You either focus on what you lack or you focus on what you can create. But you cannot do both. If your attention is enslaved by what others have, by what has gone wrong, by what you fear might happen, you are handing the steering wheel of your destiny to chaos. And chaos never leads to greatness. You must train your mind like a craftsman trains his hands. Daily, patiently, deliberately, you must teach yourself to focus, not on conditions, but on possibilities. Not on what you lost, but on what you still hold. Not on the closed doors, but on the open windows ahead. This shift in focus is the birth of your power. What most call reality is nothing more than an echo of previous thoughts. Your current results, they are the residue of past thinking. But the future is still in your hands, molded by what you choose to focus on today. The law of focus is precise. It does not play favorites. If you dwell on worry, your mind becomes a magnet for more worry. If you dwell on strength, faith, determination, your vision becomes a beacon that pulls solutions out of thin air. The outer world bows to the one whose inner world is mastered. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about ignoring difficulties. It's about refusing to surrender your vision to them. It's about seeing obstacles not as walls, but as raw material. It's about refusing to indulge in the luxury of negative thinking. Some people live their entire lives reacting to life, but achievers, true creators, focus their way into a new experience. They don't wait for perfect conditions, they create them by how they think, how they show up, how they persist. That is what I demand of you. Stop waiting. Start shaping. Stop reacting. Start focusing. Stop doubting. Start deciding. And once you have made the decision, do not let anything blur your vision. Not opinions, not rejection, not fatigue, not delay. The mind will wander. That is natural. But you must bring it back again and again. You must remind yourself daily of what you are building. You must feed your faith more than your fear. The subconscious mind does not question your focus. It simply accepts it and begins to build from it. So ask yourself, what are you programming it with? Are you feeding it pictures of power, success, harmony, purpose? Or are you feeding it frustration, gossip, distraction, and despair? You cannot plant weeds and harvest fruit. You cannot stare at the mud and expect to see stars. Your focus creates the filter through which you experience the world. Clean the lens, fix the signal, sharpen the picture. Clarity is your greatest leverage. A scattered mind burns energy and produces little. A clear mind conserves energy and builds empires. Now let us get brutally honest. You say you want change, but do you really? Because if you did, your focus would show it. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And if your attention is stuck in past mistakes, drama, or complaints, then your energy is being drained into a black hole. But if your attention is anchored in your vision, your goals, your purpose, then even if the results haven't shown up yet, the current is moving. The gears are turning, the momentum is real. The man who walks by sight is always limited. But the man who walks by focus, by vision, has no ceiling. He does not care if it is hard. He does not care if it takes time. He does not care if no one claps. He is focused, and focus makes him formidable. Let others be distracted. You be disciplined. Let others drift. You decide. Let others envy. You build. Let others sleep. You rise. Let others talk. You act. This is what separates the ones who wish from the ones who win. You see, the universe responds to the brave, not the timid. To the clear, not the confused. To the resolute, not the hesitant. There is no secret passage to greatness. There is only sustained, intentional focus, day in and day out. And here's the truth. Focus is not a trait. It is a muscle. You strengthen it by using it. You develop it by resisting distraction, by saying no to the unnecessary, by simplifying your life until only what matters remains. Some will tell you this is obsessive. They are right, and you must be, because the life you are meant to live demands that level of obsession. It requires that you stop entertaining things that do not serve you, that you stop answering questions that do not build you, that you stop engaging people who do not respect your vision. You are either focused on your destiny or you are feeding your distractions. There is no middle ground. Ask yourself now, what in my life is stealing my focus? What habits, what people, what routines are anchoring me to the ordinary? Make a decision. Remove them. And when you do, you will feel it, the return of your power, the expansion of your capacity, the alignment of your spirit. Then, and only then, will the universe match your intensity with its own. Then the opportunities will seem to come from nowhere. Then your steps will feel guided. Then your voice will carry weight, not because of luck, but because you focused yourself into alignment with what was already yours. You must now resolve to live each day as a focus builder. Wake with purpose. Move with clarity. Act with decisiveness. Refuse to be moved by temporary appearances. You are not here to be average. You are not here to fit in. You are not here to chase trends. You are here to create impact, to build legacy, to move mountains with your mind. And that begins with what you focus on, minute by minute, hour by hour. Don't just set goals, focus on them. Don't just write affirmations, embody them. Don't just dream, build the bridge, brick by brick, focus by focus. You do not need more motivation. You need more elimination, less noise, fewer distractions, fewer excuses. This is how you reclaim your focus. And when you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your life. And let me remind you, your dream is not silly. Your vision is not impossible. Your goal is not too big. But your focus must match the size of your desire. Your discipline must match the depth of your ambition. Focus turns vision into victory, desire into destiny, wishing into wealth. So if you want to change your world, don't start with your environment. Start with your focus. Shift your gaze, lift your eyes, align your mind with the outcome you seek. Hold it there. Feed it. Speak it. Think it. Move toward it daily. And watch how the universe conspires not to punish you, but to promote you. Not to test you, but to trust you. Not to resist you, but to reward you. Because what you focus on, the universe will provide. There is no mystery greater than the power of focused thought aligned with definite purpose. The man who learns to dominate his attention has already begun to dominate his destiny. Most people chase results. The wise focus on causes. Thoughts are the causes. Results are the effects. Change your dominant focus and your entire world rearranges itself to match the new image you hold in your mind. Too many individuals try to manipulate the outer world while their inner world remains disorganized, distracted, and filled with contradiction. That is like planting weeds and expecting roses. The universe is exact. It gives you not what you claim to want, but what you consistently focus on, consciously or unconsciously. If you wake up each day and focus on your limitations, that becomes your lens. And you will see your day through the fog of doubt. But if you rise and direct your mind toward possibility, toward opportunity, growth, and creation, you will begin to attract precisely those things because your perception has tuned your awareness to them. The most important question you can ask yourself each morning is not, what do I have to do today? But rather, what am I going to focus on today? You do not live out your life in events, you live it out in attention. Where your attention lives, your life follows. Let me be as direct as possible. Wealth, power, health, relationships, fulfillment, all are governed by this law, the law of sustained attention. He who learns to fix his gaze, to hold his vision, to not be swayed by appearances, to concentrate on what he wants, not what he fears, can build any future he chooses. Distraction is the silent killer of dreams. It does not announce its attack. It does not appear as an enemy. It arrives disguised as entertainment, as urgency, as convenience. And if you are not vigilant, you will wake up a decade from now with nothing but regret and the haunting question, what if I had stayed focused? Your goals are not slipping away, your focus is. Your potential is not unreachable. Your attention is unfocused. Your future is not in jeopardy. It is simply waiting for you to commit to it with undivided mental energy. You do not need to become someone new. You need only to focus like never before on becoming who you already are. Without compromise, without apology, without hesitation. You are not a product of your conditions. You are a product of your mental habits, and your greatest habit must be focused, unwavering thought toward your chief aim in life. Decide now what you want. Burn the image into your mind. Feed it daily. Speak it aloud. Write it with emotion. Feel it as if it were already done. And when distraction shows up, tell it firmly. I have no time for you. I am building something far greater. Let others party. You prepare. Let others gossip. You grow. Let others criticize. You create. Let others waste time. You invest it. This is how focused men rise while the world watches in awe and confusion. And understand this, the universe rewards energy. The more focused energy you direct at your definite chief aim, the more the universe sends resources, people, and circumstances that align with that purpose. But if you scatter your thoughts across complaints, envy, fear, and self-doubt, the universe has no clear command to obey. Give it clarity. Give it certainty. Give it consistency. And it will give you results that will silence every doubter, including the one in your own head. This is not magic. It is mathematics of the mind. Your subconscious mind records the patterns of your thinking and acts on repetition. The thoughts you hold most often become the instructions by which your inner world shapes the outer one. And so I ask you now, what thoughts have you been feeding? What story have you been focusing on? Is it one of power or one of powerlessness? Are you focused on excuses? Are you focused on execution? You have the power to shift that story. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week, this moment. Begin to focus on what you can do, on who you are becoming, on what you will create. Let that focus become your obsession, not in madness, but in faith. Not in anxiety, but in confidence. Not in fear, but in fierce expectation. Expectation is focus dressed in belief. If you expect greatness, you must focus your mind on the patterns of greatness. If you expect peace, you must focus on what brings clarity and calm. If you expect wealth, you must focus on the habits, actions, and beliefs that produce it. Do not say, "I'll believe it when I see it." No. You will see it when you believe it. And belief is the child of focus. What you give attention to, you believe in. And what you believe in, you create more of. The man who focuses on what is missing becomes blind to what is possible. But the man who focuses on opportunity, even when surrounded by adversity, becomes a magnet for solutions, breakthroughs, and elevation. Be that man. Be the one who cannot be distracted, who cannot be discouraged, who cannot be convinced to look anywhere except forward, upward, inward. Be the one who trains his mind like a warrior trains his weapon, every day with precision, with discipline, with respect for its power. Focus is a silent discipline. It does not need noise. It does not beg for applause. It works in the shadows, but soon its fruits become undeniable. Because while others are reacting to life, you are creating it. There will be moments when you feel nothing is working. Stay focused. There will be setbacks. Stay focused. There will be delays. Stay focused. There will be silence. Stay focused. Because what you focus on, even in stillness, is being built. Even when you see no movement, your focused intention is planting roots deep into your future. This is the higher law. This is the invisible architecture of success. Not what the eyes can see, but what the mind can hold. Not what the world gives, but what the focused mind demands. Not what circumstances suggest, but what your inner focus insists upon. You are not waiting on success. Success is waiting on you to focus, to decide, to commit. The second you do, everything begins to change. Maybe not visibly at first, but internally. And when your inner world changes, the outer world must follow. Because you were born, not to drift, but to drive. Not to react, but to reign. Not to follow noise, but to follow focus. So here is your challenge. Write your aim. See it clearly. Hold it daily. Eliminate distraction. Reject the unnecessary. Guard your focus like a treasure. Because it is the most valuable asset you own. And if you protect it, cultivate it, and aim it, there is nothing you cannot become. The power to transform your life does not lie in better luck, or in better timing, or in better conditions. It lies in a better focus, yours. And when you understand that, the universe responds not because you are lucky, but because you are finally listening. Because you are finally deciding. Because you are finally focusing on what was always meant for you. Focus is the doorway. Discipline is the key. Consistency is the lock. And your destiny is what's on the other side. So open it and never look back. Because what you focus on, the universe will provide